there is no need for me to introduce so much. Professor a.b.samaddar is currently Director NID Sikkim and former Director MNIT Allahabad. He has completed his BE from Calcutta University, MTech from ISM Dhanbad, PhD from Imperial College London. So I would request our Assistant in Student Affairs, Dr. Sumit Saha, to please felicitate Professor a.b.samaddar, Honorable Director NID Sikkim. Now I would request Honorable Director to continue his talk.
Thank you very much. But I don't think I have much to offer you. I'm sorry. Maybe next year when next Abhinandan you invite me, I can give you a good treat for innovation or technology. 2:30 I was supposed to present it, but unfortunately I think some water is still leaking some hostel, so I have to sit down with files with CPWD to find out some innovative way how to convince or impress upon CPWD, please do something fast. Otherwise, and then I have to innovate something to convince my student also that things are happening and this is the way things are happening. But anyway, so ultimately I decided to entertain you because entertainment is more important these days than perhaps the other serious things. So I see some of the serious face here and some other who was put down to come here. So I'll try to entertain you through some of my own photographs. And there is a team called Udvavan in NIT Sikkim. Many of you may not be knowing. There is a team called Udvavan we have started this year only. I hope this will carry forward next year also, which I interact personally with this team, small team, to encourage, inculcate innovation and thinking and higher order thinking. I mean, and I'm trying to take away from that I'm an ordinary person, I'm an ordinary student, what I can do. The big things in the world has been done by Faraday and all these things, they're definitely great. But unless they made it great, they were not great. They're only laboratory student, laboratory attendant. And many more examples are there all over the world. They were just ordinary people on the street after it has been showcased. So I am to impress upon this team, and they have come out with a small 2 or 3 ideas, just ideas. I will tell those ideas which my young friends has come up with small. And then I will show some innovation in photograph. I am not a professional photographer anyway, not an amateur. But some innovation you can think about. Just quickly, I have downloaded from some of my cameras, not all of them, there are many more. Maybe some other time I will show. So this is of course my photograph. And you know the story of this. Anybody know? I am sure anybody. Light is. I will switch it on. You know this story. You know this story. So this is a good example of innovation. That means animals, they also have some innovation in mind. So why not we? Innovation. Innovation to me is doing things, solving problems in a simple, effective way. A simple, effective way, not very, very big research and all these things. And these days we are also talking about something of blue sky research. This is my young friend from which year, Nikhil? Second year. He is coming with the idea of navigation. You know, the satellite communication system through which is trying to solve the problem with farmers, fishermen, and many more. And if you think about your ads, they have come out with a small apps problems of shaking, this road condition is bad, how to dynamically know where road is bad, where to go and not. Our fourth year student who has gone out, they have come out with small apps. Same, they also can use this concept. Concept is there, but he started thinking of making it a very cheaper way. How it can be done using a GPS system, global positioning system. You will be using the satellite, Indian satellites from there, try to contact the software apps will be there. We don't need for this more than 1 meter. In fact, suppose on the Kerala beach, Kerala outer sea, or for that reason, Bengal, Bay of Bengal. Fishermen are going out with small or boats. They have their mobile with them. So anytime having a small, very cheap GPS attached to it, anytime there's a problem, some storm, hurricanes are coming, they can be warned. And second thing, they can be told about which is the nearest market where they can have a fetch a better price, or people are there to buying their fish. So they can accordingly move. So this information system, it can be for them. It can be also for the peasants, cultivators, for them also. So we can give better service to common people, and it can be also, and moreover, if you are close group friends who are going in a big city and traveling on a railway station, you are lost, you can track each other, one another. So this is his idea. And Nikhil, can you tell me he has not given his name. Wireless electric power transmission. Who is the gentleman? Is he here? Hitesh. It's a very good idea. You can think about today, wherever we are getting sophisticated but then at the same time, a maze of wire. Our Anjan sir is sitting here. So for wireless communication, there are a lot of things have been done. These are wireless communication, all the mobiles have been done. But then power transmission, wireless, that is a big challenge. Because if you start transmitting power from here to there, in between, everything can be also burned or tindered. People tried to run an airplane through using a microwave beam. From the earth, you throw a beam, and the airplane will be following it automatically, and the power will be transmitted. This will work also. But only problem, in between some birds come, they become beautifully roasted. Or if it's very ugly roasted, depending on how you look at it. But humans. But there's some already charging systems are there. Wireless charger for the mobiles. You can put on the table. The wireless charging system is there. Now you want to make it wireless charging, how it can be done. Now, as such, for a common people like me, it may appear it is absurd, because the energy is transmitted, in between everything should be burnt. It's not necessary. And people like our electrical, my colleagues, and you thinking about it. Otherwise, there is so much energy coming from the sun, not that everything in between is getting completely burnt. So to find out that he was trying to do something, that he's started thinking about it. Wireless communication and wireless power transmission. Think about it, big thinking. It's a very big thinking. And then Nikhil is thinking about controlling human. It's a very higher order thinking. Controlling human. And you know that this is our trade. That is Indian trade. Eastern trade of Buddhism and Hinduism. The philosophy, the trade is that controlling human. This is not a hot yogi, not that we are talking about. We are talking about real serious sense. Now, scientifically, it has been proved, theoretically, scientifically, that is possible. And that's what Nikhil has been done some study, that scientifically how it is possible, theoretically. And of course, much more, he said, and through yoga, but I will not say yoga, I will say much higher science, yoga. That is also a science. And then you understand the target audience, a target for controlling the mind. Today, our world is much aggrieved by terrorism. And for that reason, maybe amongst ourselves also, if we can control our feelings and emotions from time to time, the world could have been much, much better. If you account for how much misery we give to one another, rather than the nature is giving us, directly, indirectly, by physical injury and by thoughts and creating tension, how much we give to one another. And sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. So that is his thought, controlled by physical science. That's what he's finding out. He started working on it. I'm sure it's a long, long way to go, and many people have to work on this. And when somebody is thinking innovation, I should think, not me, any great person in the world. They have talked about it. The sky today, I personally say, let sky not the limit. Because sky is nothing but a limitations of your eye, vision. Why sky should be your limit? In fact, the great scientists, Hawking, Einstein, Newton, they didn't have the limitations of sky. Otherwise, we can't think about this quasar 16 billion light year away. How can take photograph unless we agree? So that limitations has to go. Then we can think about it. And controlled by higher order science, yoga. You know that it has been proved by scientific analysis, yoga, and when somebody is very, very angry, taking a thermal photograph and wave photograph, we have seen how the pattern in the brain changes and how the energy is transmitted. And then you call it a positive energy, negative energy. It doesn't say that. We have to define first in the sense that which is negative or positive, then only it will, because it doesn't know. Because I am having a fantastic, I know that you are talking to me, I know I am so much annoyed with the student, and so is the student with me. Because he thinks he's correct, and I am thinking he's wrong. But either both of us wrong, most likely, most of the time both of us are wrong. So somebody to calibrate it, and who will calibrate? Thermal and many other sensors, electromagnetic sensors are already there to work around. It is not only Patanjali University, even Stanford, MIT, they are doing research on this. People who are no yoga, to sitting in yoga and they are trying to photograph it. So, this is also great thinking, I must say, and I must encourage other students. I'm sure many more students will not come in the Bhavan group, will come, start from a small innovation in leaps, or having this, organic being, starting higher order things like this, any level you can think about. And another thinking has come from a.b.samaddar, is that harnessing there's nothing. You cannot see anything here. If I switch off all the lights here after the sun set, you cannot see anything here. Nothing can be seen. I'm talking absolute dark. Does it mean nothing is here? Everything is there. And similarly, although the light is there, we cannot see many things here. We cannot see many bacteria. We cannot see many viruses. We cannot see the energy being transmitted out from here. This we cannot see. So many more things we cannot see because of our limitations of our eyes. So, and in this universe, now you also know that hardly the visible world. Visible world, when I say visible world, is not only through our eyes, also through all sort of microscope, telescope, heat, a thermal sensor, all sort of things we have along with us. With all those things, what we can see is hardly 2%. I do not know exact statistics, you can find out. Only 2%. Rest 98% of dark matter. Energy is also 98% or more dark energy, which you cannot see. Now think about, we are talking about energy, environment, pollution, so much energy crisis. If you are using only 0.2% of the visible energy and 98% invisible energy, we do not know anything about it. First of all, we have to utilize the energy which you can see. If you measure theoretically how much energy is falling on the sun, on the earth every day, only from sun, and how much we are using it, you'll be surprised how crude we are, how crude our science is, how much time we spend for fighting with each other and for many materialistic other things. And then you talk about rest of the 98% dark energy. So that's what I'm sure this is maybe thinking, which just thinking only, but I appreciate to that and I encourage you, and I'm also impressed upon you. Please imagine whatever you can imagine. Anything impossible thing you have to imagine. If they didn't imagine the impossible thing to fly, those two brothers, today we would not have flown. So you have to start thinking very impossible things. If in these epics, the Ramayana, Mahabharata, and many other epics in the world, they did not imagine of chariots on the sky and everything, then later on people would not have thought, well, let us also fly. Let us see how do we fly. And today we fly. And we fly on the air, we fly in there is no air, vacuum. Satellite and rockets. And we are going places in the space. And we'll be going more and more places. Imagine. And why this hall will not be having 1, 2, or 3 of us involved in that. Not on the silver screen like Shahrukh Khan in the Swadesh and NASA, but you also. So she thinks that is the way, the dark energy. Dark energy, why it is dark energy? Because we cannot sense them. Forget about our eyes. We don't have any equipment, any device. जाना साहब का कोई भी सेंसर नहीं है अभी तक to sense them. We work on device. But we know that it is there. It is established. So let there be 100 years or 200 years from now. Let us start working. People have started work. Only thing is that why not we? It is not always we need all experimental. Some thought suddenly, can we do it like this? What today, using billions of dollars, we are experimenting in the tunnel of Switzerland, Hadron Collider, that has been thought 50 years back by Shattan Bose in a small room. And that is we are just doing by experiment. You know the great scientist, Shattan Bose. He was not known by anybody because he didn't want to bother for publishing a lot of papers, etc. His students used to take the papers from his table and dustbin and publish papers. And when somebody pointed out to him, sir, you know, this fellow has taken some papers from your table and published a paper. I see, great. They said, no, he hasn't mentioned my name. So what? He has done a great thing. I didn't have much time to do it. He has done it. He thought at that time, 50 years back or so, even before that, people thought about it. Jagadish Bose started thinking, why can't we communicate without wire? He started thinking something, that's why we can communicate without wire. And then later Marconi, of course. It's a good thing that Marconi's offspring today have themselves come forward to acknowledge that Bose is the first person. And it is recorded now. It is official in scientific world that Jagadish Chandra Bose was the first person. Although technology has been inactive, it is inactive apparently because we cannot, it doesn't interact with anything. It doesn't interact, so you cannot sense. We sense because it interacts. Light fall on that is absorbed. When it absorbed or reflected, that the interaction is there. That's why you can see. When there is no interaction, that's why it is dark. But it does exist. Some pseudo-gurus who have been educated at the same time doing guru-giri, gurus of these days, they promptly started, the dark energy. It is the Saturn. When you are trying to, it sounds very logical. When you are trying to think very positive about God, the dark energy comes, the Saturn comes and pull you back. So beta, please come to me. I'll tell you about positive things. So they started trying pretty quickly pick it up. This dark energy is nothing but Saturn, which is more powerful than the good things, positive energy of the world. Don't be much deviated by this type of things. Let us think through science and logic. Logically, some scientists are trying to explain like this: at the 0 hour, the Big Bang, while the universe is expanding, the energy is getting expanded. And then these places, which is dark for us only by light, there is no light, but these places are full of energy. And this place where light, there is also energy, dark energy, which you cannot see. The room is full of dark matter. The phone is full of dark energy, which you cannot see, we cannot interact, we cannot sense as on today. Maybe 100 years from now, or maybe 50 years from now, we'll know much better. You'll be a lucky person to see. We'll not be there. We hope, but the scientists go with hope. But the fantasy is there. And people start thinking in a different direction also. Some innovation in spiritualism also. This gentleman, Fritjof Capra, is a Greek scientist, physicist. He was sitting in front of the ocean and one day suddenly felt every particle is dancing. And every particle in this, we can feel or don't feel it dancing there. And he came out with a book called The Tao of Physics. What I mentioned, actually the depiction of Nataraj dancing is nothing but a depiction of the destruction in construction. Destruction is never destruction, it's a below of construction. That's what his books, he says, that the Nataraj dancing is everything in the world, everywhere, the particles are dancing and interacting. It is some sort of innovation by Fritjof Capra, 1975, when I completed my engineering. Some of us were head over heels with that book. Anyway, this is a book. If you sometimes get hold of it, you can tell your library sir to get one. And of course, these are the innovations. Great innovation, small. That's why I said simple way, but we change the world. Whales. And you know the nails. The great temple of Konark. Konark, you know, Sun Temple. There is no cement has been used in it. Only iron, nails and binding depths of the great construction. Amit sir, Alok sir will accept it. He's a great construction engineer without cement. Thousands of years, hundreds of years there. And this innovation, photography, this is Shambhunath Burman sir, hai there? Nahi hai. I went to Kuch Bihar once, somewhere taken some photographs, that's why I'm saying, do some photographs. Photographs are great innovators. I'm not at all a professional photographer, not at all a photographer. But try to perceive something. Some of the other innovations, and today this is the building, tallest building, Burj Khalifa. Where is that? Yeah. And this is the will be is 1 kilometer, 3,300 feet. And the Chinese are thinking to make a hill station. They will be having about, say, 2 kilometers high building, massive building. And top floors will be having a sort of hill station. And to start with it, somebody in China, he has constructed a mountain resort waiting on the top of the building. Unfortunately, he has to put it down because in one storm, some of this has, flown down to the street. So authority has told him that nothing doing. You have to now pull it down. So all innovations. But they're doing something. It's not keeping quiet like it's just ordinary remaining, eat, produce, and go. Joy in looking and comprehending nature's most beautiful gift, Einstein. Scientist, but he accepts and so much worshipper of nature. Some people call it God, some people call it nature, whatever. How crude is physics if you compare with this? Every day, every moment, the design is changing. It's very difficult to map the design. Even fractal geometry of your computer science and Robisar, they will not also find it difficult to design them. But the design is there. That's why it is happening. Somewhere some design is there, it is happening. Now, the beautiful carpet. We are making so beautiful carpet. Is it a carpet? What do you think? Then what is it? A fur coat of a lady? Also not that. Then what? Rangoli? Not even Rangoli. Then you have to tell me what? Huh? Skin of an animal, somebody said. Near, very near. Actually, one can but appreciate from a study of living things how primitive physics still is. Albert Einstein. This photo I have taken in my administrative blog a few months back. So every day, it's a nice place to take photograph and making videos. The young, pretty face, please do so. I'll help you. Sunny, please have come out with some video, good film. a juvenile jailed for doing it. No, a shopkeeper. What we see sometimes is not exactly correct. What we think we see. As in saying that कान और ये आई चौक कर, ये विवाद भंजन दूर करना चाहिए. कि कान जो सुनते हैं that may not be correct, but may assure that what you see is also not always correct. Now another innovation, my friends who may be interested in things, mathematics, they may try to do, because a lot of things are left behind. Only, Jaman sir, how many digits of pi has been now found? I think 1 million, 1.1 million, 1 lakh digit has been calculated. One of my young friends should come out, 13.3 trillions of how many you have to calculate. Still it has not been calculated. We have a supercomputer, you can take that, help of that to calculate with help of, because your brain is sharp at the moment. Of course, my young colleagues, they are also very sharp brain at the moment, not like old like me. So please, some of you may take up a university project, and there are ways are there. Jaman sir, Anjan sir, or Ravi sir will tell you how to calculate more and more, and why so big giants in the world could not calculate all of them so far. Why? Can you find out some way to do it further? A cascading water in the Alpine, where it's all become snow. It looks like that. What does it look like? Yeah. Actually, there is a cloud. These clouds taken from when I go to Delhi, try to get a window seat, get them. But it looks like this, it's frozen. Similarly, here, it looks like, yes, Antarctica is frozen there. But these are all clouds. You see the flocks of ships appear to be clouds. Beautiful. How crude is physics if you look at these beautiful things. Perhaps you recognize this. It looks like a lake. Again, no. We can see we are lucky that we are living on the clouds, and we can see below lakes. It's basically valley of lakes. Clouds going to sleep behind your NIT Sikkim. In the evening, if you look at it, it's a beautiful scene. They've all gone to sleep on their bed. And that is gone to sleep. Young person, he has to again by me to come out when it landed Delhi. But he's not in the NIT Sikkim. When I look at the nature, I see how good it feels. Vista is there, hills are there, clouds, shade, the torch of sunrise there on this town. How true this feels. How true this feels. Every leaves coming out will be having that. Who designs? Biotechnology? Any biotechnology? Can you design this? Can you design the gene of this plant that it will have like this or not? Theoretically, you can do that. You can design your gene now so that you can change it. You can make any sort of this thing. And then you can design your gene such a way that I will not, or you will not, or your beloved one will not have cancer. You have to start thinking about it. These are more possible things. You will not have cancer. Your gene will be designed such a way the cells will not develop like that. Similarly, all the bad diseases like Alzheimer's, cancer, leukemia, tuberculosis. You can design such a way, and you don't have to have the crude way of having injecting that type of things, which also doesn't work and have a side effect. Take the challenge, thinking about our beloved colleague, Ashish Ranjan Raut, and many more. That whether you can design or say, a.b.samaddar, come out with something designed. And you see the TV mechanic. It's beautiful, but we have television has come to these remote places also, and we can see which could not be think about 20 years back at all. Just one dish, you can do everything. And with the 10 years, 20 years time, with that dish, you can have anything you want. All communication, including power transmission. Shooting cloud, this is all innovating you can think about. I think this is one of the great things you can innovate. Think, imagine in the clouds. Very easy to imagine in the clouds. Anything you can imagine, look at the clouds. And clouds are abundant here, abundant. Captive clouds. In this, actually, this is a photograph the other day I have taken from here. The rainbow was there. Cloud, shadow, river, clouds are there, shadows, river, islands, and the confluence of river. How could he speak? If I were Wordsworth, I could have penned down 5 lines immediately. While wandering on the Ganges near Murshidabad, I suddenly discovered, and goes on like this. Innovation. And they innovate. Looking at it, they start imagining and write poems. They are innovative in writing poems. What is it? The shadow. I have the opportunity that day, there was sunshine to take this. While coming down, the tea gardens. You see how the tea gardens are gradually galloping all these paddy fields. Tea is not that essential thing for our life, but these are. Paddies are for fill up our stomach. At least for those people there. It may not be for you or me, but for them. But this is eating up, gradually expanding, because this gets more scarce. And this is rather, I should say, naive and innocent way of taking these tea gardens. Much more dangerous are the tobacco and the hashish, marijuana plantation, which are taking over many places. Thousands of hectares. We need drugs, not for medication, but for pleasure, occult pleasure. That also. The Skywalk. Kanchenjunga is behind there. Palace in the clouds. Below Kanchenjunga here. Behind you can see this hill. You can see they're cultivating behind your city. And you see some innovative innovation in superstition, 14 and 12. The 13th city is not there. Which airlines is this? Find out, I will not tell them. Some innovation in superstition. And a USB plant. You have seen any of you this plant? Going from here to Namchi, you will find this plant. If you keep your eyes open, left side, the plant is there. And we love India. This is NGP station. Behind that, this you must have seen this area. Shabuj Uddan, that means green garden. I love my India. And these are all I love my India. Orissa, Panda sir, just आपका entrance for the Orissa border in Bengal. This is in Bengal while entering in Orissa. I love my India, and this road, they have to go back from this place as a highway. And here it is written very carefully, this road is maintained by central government, so it is not our fault. So that our Didi or whatever, it is not our fault. It is with Modiji or Gandhiji or whatever is there, their fault. So that they are more interested to have this signboard rather than this. So innovation in politics. I love my India. And some, there are, can you find the two dogs there? You find out. So sometime it comes in somewhere, they are also there. So my young friends will here go kutu and then they will love this dog. And how sweet, how cute they are. But the story is not very nice if we show you the next photograph. I will not explain this photograph. You have to imagine where is it. And I love my NIT Sikkim. West Siliguri market. It's about 2 quintals of, it's everywhere. Banana, this and that. Yesterday, I think today morning, Datta was mentioning about the wastage in our country. I think you should, whether you have become civil servant, IAS or anybody, you should do something that mangoes cannot be plucked before this time. Banana cannot be plucked before this time. That rule has to be there. Otherwise, what banana, their is not even 50% matured. As a result, the food value you are getting not even 20%. As a result, in India, out of 120 crores, we get 2 medals. Our physics is not built properly. And then, of course, color is there, all the things are there, medicine is there for food, one of these things. And top of it, we try to make very much cut in our hostels here. No, itna kacha nahi karenge, bas aloo hi khayenge. Why sabji itna aloo cheap hai? Aloo or dal khayenge. To cut corner only in your food. Please do not do that. Don't cut corner in your food. Okay. At the same time, don't spend a hell of a lot of money to have wrong type of food. Not that all processed foods are good. This, sorry, I don't know how this photograph come. The director also worked sometime. This time he also a part-time director. But I want to show this one. Only one of them, how you can reuse. I found these new polythene bags are better. It's like cloth-like. So rather than throwing from the window here and there, well, I prefer to do this. Cut them into pieces and keep for all-purpose cloth. To clean these burners and the kitchen table, working table. They're very good for that. And it can be used for quite a few weeks and then throw away. So beautiful reuse. There can be many more reuse you can think about. I have shown earlier. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. I'm sure you understand that. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. What you do daily. He achieved greatness unequal. Max Planck has a great fan of this person, Maxwell. And at the end, I may not be here for a long few days more. All the students and colleagues here and to come, let there be a silver lining behind every cloud you see in future. From my side. Thank you.